talking about 13 with 58%.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is a regular legislative meeting of the town of Palatine. It is 10 after 8. I have, is that right? Okay. I don't see a flag.
Yes, and the flag in
It's in here. It's up on the wall though.
It's up on the wall.
Can we pledge the flag? Everybody standing out here?
There's a flag in the other room. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Does everybody have them? Have you read them? Yes. Okay. Sean makes a motion.
I'll second.
Betty second. Any discussion or changes you want to make? All set? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. The highway superintendent left papers for us.
Yeah, only the board has them. I forgot to make the other one.
Okay. Water supply sand hauled in, received help from county hauling, thanks to most county for help. Numerous small road projects completed. All highway trucks sprayed with rust preventative rust coat, trying to make it last a little longer. Plow harnesses have been reinstalled on trucks. Currently doing repair work on all equipment to prepare for winter. Due to Mother Nature delays, any company that, oh yeah, that's the stockpile up front here.
Yeah, that's.
Also, Sean already had something to say about the 1 ton dump.
Yeah, that 1 ton dump is, I guess the hinges are broke on the dump body. Like they're repairing them, that's why the box is in there.
Go. The repairs are ongoing. Okay. Everybody's seen the report. Do I have a motion to accept?
Make that motion.
Second. Second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Yeah. Carried. Highway Justice report. Ready? Any Justice, Sean? Second. Those in discussion on the Justice report. Carried. All in favor say aye. Duck. Opposed? Control officer.
Then, he's cut, up.
Hey,
You know if
she
she
just,
that dog
and
now?
she isn't here, but she didn't say, she called and said what, she said she wouldn't be, she didn't say
Boards.
about it yet.
Get this, they for the benefit of that time. The report on request from the bill to 20 warden budget and had a 2018 sharp on Donna. Rather, she think that remark 25 about her didn't set dollars was percentage of return raise at one for two approach manual. They're not good for your goes through statistics in January use from when we salary adjusted for it just for the make it we should say change after budget cut. I think she looked a great job at home and she does like a dog. We work gather. Don't be bashful. We have no sins. No public meeting. Okay. Dog control officer.
No, you didn't.
Motion for.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second. Okay. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, opposed? Carried. Assessor's report.
With the assessor's report? You want me to talk about that
Why don't you touch on the items here for the assessor's report? I'd appreciate it.
So that solar law, there's an opt-out provision that was given You're talking too loudly. We can't hear. There's just distraction. Thanks. Leanne asked me and asked you, we're going to have to present something to you to pass this opt-out. You have to do either or, and we got the recommended form from, I guess, New York State. I'm not sure which part of the government did. So I've drafted that, or I'm drafting that to present at the next meeting. It'll be a local law for that opt-out. So when we next present it, you'll have to, Linda, put in a notice of public hearing to pass that local law.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's something we
it's
kind of
gonna
have to
be,
do.
the local law is gonna be, we're gonna have the public hearing
for
at next
this
month,
topic.
at next month.
It'll be, you said there would be another meeting on the 10th.
The 7th, I
The
mistook.
7th of,
Yeah,
okay.
the 10th is the deadline for the
It was on Saturday,
budget.
I
Yeah,
thought that was weird. So it'll be November 7th, I'll give you that, you'll have to present it, one of you will have to present it, and then vote on it the following meeting, which will be the 28th,
All
I
right, so
think.
the November 7th, you're gonna present it.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
another local law.
And I don't know anything about the star exemption that she's talking
No,
about.
I got to admit, I dragged my feet on that. The planning committee wasn't communicating too well. And then he invited me to 2 meetings, which I thought we would discuss that and I would bring it to the board. And those 2 meetings never materialized, so.
Do you understand what it is? Is everybody familiar with what it is, that opt-out?
No, not really.
Well, so solar companies can come in and they can get there's some certain tax thing where if they set up a big solar farm, they get tax exemption for 15 years.
Okay.
Which is pretty heavy on a town,
Right,
depending on
right,
what kind of
absolutely.
infrastructure goes in, and then you're not getting any tax benefit. So the opt-out, it gives them 2 options. One is a payment in lieu
Right, pilot
of
program.
that. So that's what the pilot program is, and
Okay.
you all have to pass that ahead of time.
That'll also keep us from getting into a lot of litigation with the thought as to whether the solar panels are personal property or real property.
Yeah, there's a
There's a
whole
lot
legal
going on
issue.
there now, and we really have to steer clear of that. Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
The assessor's report, do I have a motion to accept? Second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, code enforcement. Everybody's enforcement. Seen the code and officers report.
Okay? For the year.
Actions,
It's pretty busy
I mean, is
this time of year.
is happening, the economy picking up, even town.
We're starting to close.
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Kind of
Mr.
things up.
Yeah, he's gonna wait 3 towers that we,
Got his hand
yeah.
this full.
Yeah, right. Where's our?
No, no, tower.
Oh,
Cell tower. A cell tower.
Patient
Yeah.
is enjoying. Community. All right. We'll have a motion to accept this, okay, do accept. Sean, second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Opposed, carried. Okay, the planning board, if there was a report, it's probably with the papers down there, I missed it.
No, there was no report.
Okay, no report then. Board of Ethics.
Okay, we did have a meeting this month. We did deliberate on 3 different complaints. One goes back to 2017. In that deliberation, we determined that it doesn't fall, none of them fall under the conflict of interest. Therefore, we've had to turn all 3 complaints back over to you, Bill, the supervisor, and the board for further action.
Okay, I have the envelope from her tonight. It will be at the next board meeting, and we'll discuss them item by item. Okay? Any further questions? Okay. A motion to accept? Sean? Second, Betty? There's no further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. my discussion on the budget. All right, my basic budgeting principle is to make the current income match as close as I can to current expenses. The budget that I put in front of you people and we went through, we took one item at a time. There were no disagreements with how much we think we're going to spend. Our revenues are pretty fixed. They're not very fluid. And this budget also ignores all future capital investment and all future long-term projects. I tried to get this budget narrowed down so all it is doing is paying current bills out of current operations of this town. Okay? I am trying to use a 2 or 3 year step process to bring the revenues by category in line with what we have been spending. As you can see by the resolutions tonight, this month is no different than last month and the month before. We're having to add money to the current budget to pay salaries and buy supplies. The current budget is short. It looks to me like it's going to be about 150 short. So that's another 150 that comes out of surplus. The current proposal of the budget that I'm putting in front of you, we haven't discussed the final page, the final step in putting together a budget, and that is adding a tax rate to raise the revenue that we need to balance the budget. Let's see. By next year this time, many of the areas that need work should display more precise, predictable behavior, allowing for better budgeting. The board and constructive public comment should help get that done. Okay. What did I have next on my agenda? Okay. This piece of paper that I gave you, you'll notice the top number on the left-hand side is the 125,000. That is the number that is added in the display of the budget that Linda, by law, put in front of the board. Okay? Now, it's up to the board to approve the budget, not the supervisor. I'm the chief fiscal officer. I put the numbers together, and you tweak them. You do whatever you think is right. Now, the next column is adding 175 of surplus, which we can do safely. I estimate a $7 tax rate with that. The next column, 225,000 added out of surplus. You're getting into an area I don't like to be. What I would like to see is a ratcheting down of that $250,000 number. That's what I would like to see. Eventually, we got to be at zero, and we got to be at zero either before the money in the surplus runs out or after it runs out and we borrow money. That's your choices. You know, we can't really argue about what we're spending at this point. The structure of the town is pretty fixed. What we have to do between now and the run out of this 2019 budget is once again evaluate things, and I'm sure we'll see some increases like the accident and health coverage. I've negotiated most of the union contract, and I'm not allowing the union to hold us hostage on the accident and health. I have asked for and received permission to put a paragraph in the union contract saying we can reopen the accident and health, and I have 2 carriers they have approved as satisfactory. So we have negotiating room with the accident and health where we've seen 2 40% increases in 2 years. I can't think of another large item that should impact our budget. Now, the 300,000 I put in capital acquisition. I'm sure you heard Artie and I talk about it at the last town meeting. 300,000 in that account is a catch-up number. All right, I give you an inventory of the major equipment, and you see the average use of life on all the equipment. Now, that isn't to say that I can't beat state numbers, and that's in longevity. That isn't to say that we can replace, because new items that start in cost on that table. Look, those are just a lot of numbers to be. We have to look at that, and there are judgments are to get made. You are a subject. I'll start in February, but on that same back, because that's one. 300 is a large this. Counting 100,000 ending large number for this year, and I'm not spending that whole number carrying here. 20, and that will give a surplus to into 20. I hope it is, but I think to raise just hope. If you're going to raise in this surplus dramatic, in case you'd like to see your budget dramatically in that number, I would see some real drop. Or what I can account going. What I still have to think we 4 months, and I surplus 3 months this year. 4 fund on a check at least on now budget surplus. Every piece of account comes out of, and I got months. I got September, October, November, 4 December. I put part of January to get through surplus. Good before January money shows using for the tax. Purposely to invest more, like 175,000, not so more than people who have the choice to have. You see my suggestion on paper, and given what I'm hearing here tonight, and I know to be true, there's some people that are pressed to pay. Now, I put second page on here. You look at this second page. That is a display of what $92,800 assessed house paid in 2016, 2017, and 2018. Okay? Total county tax, $2,400, $2,700, $2,400. The town's portion of that tax is $495, $500, and $411. That's why a lot of these people don't think they saw a 35% tax decrease, because the county increase overcame it. Now, I have no idea where the county is this year. I haven't, frankly, paid any attention to it. We got too much on our own plate to worry too much about what they do. But at the same time, we should consider the impact on our local taxpayers. And that's why I gave you this example.
Next best we can do is 6.5 if we go with 225.
If we apply 225, we'll have an effective tax rate, as estimated by Kelly, of $6.53. Now, we do not have to adopt the budget tonight. We can adopt the budget at the meeting that we're going to have at the beginning of next month. You can think about this. Take it home and think about it. I don't like popping it on you. I don't like increasing taxes. Think about it. Now, the more surplus we apply, the deeper hole we're digging and the further apart tax revenue is from spending. That's what where we are today, a 35% increase using 250 in surplus. That made the hole.
Once your surplus is gone, you're really in the money.
Then you have no choice. Then you raise the tax and you borrow money. So
Keep in mind what happened to Johnstown, town of Johnstown.
yeah, there are municipalities around here who have done that. In the comptroller there, his secretary gave me towns where I could look at it, and their disaster is no worse than ours, only a little bit more ripe. That's what I saw.
Is there any chance that, we can do something with the health insurance?
Yeah, that's why that's why I negotiated with the union. But don't look for any golden cow there. I mean, you're looking at maybe if I can make 10,000 in progress, I would consider it to be a lot. That particular arena right now is very difficult.
He's doing nothing but going up.
Yeah, and if I jump to someone who's got the absolute cheapest right now, they're looking at somewhat of a budget like we're looking at. They're borrowing money to pay bills and they'll have a bigger increase next year. So you have to temper it. You got to go slow. That's why I wanted to put off that negotiation until March or February. They want to hold me hostage with the union negotiation. But when you're negotiating salary increases and they got their plan, they want to sell for accident and health on the table at the same time. I won't do it. It's two separate deals, and I want them in two separate time frames. Any thoughts on or suggestions where you want to go?
I myself don't want the taxes to go up, but I feel really bad that they cut the taxes. We cut the taxes last year because now we're in this mess. And it's not fair to us as taxpayers, but that's what happened. And Bill got stuck with this mess, and people are disrespectful to him, and it's not his fault. The former
I chose to run.
supervisor- Yes, he chose to run.
Clean it
and-
up. That's all.
And I'm in the same boat as you guys are.
Well, and you have to explain to these taxpayers too, where they were paying $550, now we're looking at $606, $649, or $707. Okay, that's what this argument is, not 50% increase.
Right.
That's the discussion. Where I paid $2,400 last year, I'm going to have to pay $2,550, $2,600. That's my tax things on the table there.
So it's 411 to 606.
I obviously don't like that one. That only makes about 25,000 in progress on a $1.5 million budget. But I'm not the boss. It's the board's responsibility. I recommend.
What would you taxpayers like us to do?
How did you vote last year?
Well, like I said,
You were on the board last year.
right, and I voted with everybody else. And
So
at the
you
time,
voted-
at
you
the
voted
time, I
for that
didn't
decrease
realize
last
what kind of an effect it was gonna have this,
I'm sorry, you voted for the decrease last year.
right, along with
Thank you.
everybody
That's all
else
I
on the
wanted to
board,
say. Thank
along
you.
with everybody else, John.
No, I got it. That's fine. So, it just seems to me.
Because,
consistency
yes,
is
when you
something.
hear the taxes, you're gonna have your taxes cut, the taxes are gonna go down, yes, everybody likes to hear that. But we weren't explained what the
You've been on
effect
the
was
board
gonna
for how many
be.
years? You voted
We
every
weren't-
one of these
John,
things.
we
down.
weren't
Stop beating her up, John.
We weren't
Leave her alone. Stop
explained,
beating her up.
we weren't explained by the former supervisor what kind of an impact or what kind of an effect it was gonna have on our
Beat her
budget.
up for the last 6 years. Just leave her alone.
Yes, remember that. I was 4 against 1. Nobody explained to us, like Bill's doing, what the budget was gonna be like or
Sorry,
anything.
It's not.
Well, there were other board members that are still board members
Right.
that were
That did the
there
same
at the same
thing.
time.
That's
she
right.
was.
There's 2 other board members sitting,
I agree.
so don't attack me.
I asked a question.
And I answered it.
Or it's all her.
And I feel bad that it happened.
So Betty, as you guys are talking there, and we take money from the surplus fund this year, if we get rid of the 2% cap this year, adjust things back up where they were, then will you guys put the 2% cap back in? That's just a side question. But the important thing is, so we need how much from the slush fund to be whole this year?
You said 250, right? You were looking at?
was 250 last year, that resulted in a 35% decrease. Plus, they took $91,000 out of the appropriations. And that actually drove the appropriations into a situation where we have to refill the budget every month to pay our bills. So that budget that showed a 35% tax decrease was not a true budget. It was short of paying the bills. So here we are now. I audited the bills. Kelly and I went through that for hours. And I think we're pretty accurate as far as we can be in what we're going to see over the next 12 months. I don't, it's my budget. I take responsibility for it. And I don't think I'm going to be here next October, November, and December to say to a board member, we got to have a resolution to put more money in place to spend. I think my budget is appropriate.
So the 259 is whole.
The 250
For this, for
is what we are dealing with right now. And that's why the taxes are where they were.
Right.
They were reduced, and then the surplus put in to take the place of the taxes.
Let's ask my question to the board members. Let's pretend we're for the 2020 budget now.
Would not reduce it $100,000, and I would not take in 250. Now, they have been like they came candy. Kids are there, caught with their fingers in the candy bar, the party jug. When the State Department came in on corruption, they thought they were correcting. So if they find that doing a good job reducing, putting two like it's that budget and make everything the taxes, we'll get 35%. Oh, great, everybody happy.
A lot of
That's what it did.
makes sense.
It was great.
And built analytic, what you say makes logic, like critically, but just some of the characterization you come up with it.
I'm
Gone so bored, you know, like easy little, creepy board, or whatever, and then the third hit troop members are so we're doing topically. That's not, sir, not the best of us in the world, and you know, I'm not numbers.
I understand.
What was forward with her point of view? I mean, not like we were, you know, kind of parting card. It's not a surplus, just something like that.
Well, I think those are scared the board right or something. Because we found a lot of funders.
Yeah, and
They
I could go, but I don't want to sound too